That's how it is. What were you saying? Whose brother died?
It doesn't. It's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
I thought you fucking had some shit.
That wasn't a lead. No, that was
I
just.
thought you were leading into something.
No, it was just something random I saw.
Led to nothing.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, it is gross.
A man dying.
It is gross. If I could see, we should have.
Because the only thing I have to say about it is kind of selfish. So
yeah,
I'm big on. Or I'm trying to be big on. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah,
I say as I draft emails to people assaulting their life, but
I was trying to find. You sent me that email, which I've only ever seen in a text message. People might not know this. In a text message,
people might not know this feature.
unless you've had like a crazy ex or something. If you send a message that's too long, it won't even type the whole message out into a big long thing. It'll just put 3 dots. So.
And it brings you to like a Word doc. Almost.
It brings you to a fucking notes page.
Yeah.
Where it's like where like you draft it up, like you have you sign the bottom of it and everything. It's fucking crazy. But
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I've only ever seen that one other time. That was fucking wild.
Gotta flex on them, Mark. You
just want to let these fucking people know.
You gotta do it to the people.
People love it. This thing. I did the Chicago fire.
What's the deal with sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me?
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, so is that advocating for physical violence?
No, I think that's saying if someone...
I know what the people take it as. People take it as like, there's nothing you can say that'll hurt me.
Well, I think it's mainly for like kids who come home and they're like, "Ma, this kid's been bullying me." And you're like, "Well, did he fucking hurt you?" Like he's saying some shit, which words do hurt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it almost like it's like telling a bully to elevate their game a little bit? Like they're going from verbal abuse and then they're saying like, "Hey,
saying that to your bully will get your ass kicked."
Yeah,
that's what would happen. Yeah, no, I think you say that to like your kid or like sticks your brother or something.
Yeah, you get rocks thrown at you. You say sticks and stones may break my bones.
Yeah, well, I think it means like, hey, kid, it could be worse. He could be beating the shit out of you. Now let's eat breakfast and fucking move on with our day. You're going to school. Hey, you're going to school. That's what's happening.
Certainly not staying here.
You ever tried to fake it to get out of school?
Bro, I lived a block and a half away from school. I lived in the nurse's office.
Really?
There's always someone around that could come get me, yeah.
Really? That's nice. That's convenient.
Like, Mom, can you just have Pop walk down and come get me?
I was never able to do that because, like, my parents work full time. But, like, it was always... It'd be like a Monday, and I'd go, I ain't coming in Thursday. And you just start planting the seeds. It's like, oh, it's Tuesday? My stomach hurts a little bit. You just mentioned it a couple times.
Oh, so I would never play a long game like that.
Oh, I'd play the long game because you'd have to.
Nick's the worst.
Really?
Every year, Nick would max out the amount of days you could call off and would be like, if you call off one more day, there'd be like a point in the year where he'd be like, yeah, I can't call off anymore. I also have to like get held back. You know what I mean? Like the max amount of days you can call off.
What was he just wouldn't go?
Yeah, he just.
Or just they didn't care?
I think
his parents give a shit?
They gave a shit, but they were just lax on that, I guess. Or he was able to just kind of be like, yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Hey, you'll get through. My dad used to tell me, listen, just fucking pass. Just pass. Get a D. I don't give a fuck. Just pass.
I wish people told me that about college.
That it didn't really matter.
They were just like, yeah, just pass. Just don't fucking fail. You don't need to like be top of your game.
That's truly all it is.
Doctor.
That's truly all it is. It's fucking crazy. Where it's like if you're just getting some bullshit degree,
even if you are trying to be a doctor,
yeah,
still get the degree.
Just get the degree.
Yeah.
Listen, you can open your own practice. You can do whatever you want.
That's what I'm saying. Turn into fucking Dr. Nick.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Fucking Indian dude.
I don't know if he's Indian.
He's not Indian?
Well, Apu's Indian, and they don't have him and Apu looking the same.
Oh, yeah, because the doctor's yellow.
Yeah. I think he's like Eastern European or something. He goes,
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
That's not Indian.
Hi, hello, everybody.
That sounds, yeah, that's not what he
Going
does.
to Kiribati.
Kiribati.
Kiribati. I'm very excited.
The Great Chicago Fire. You know who probably thinks it's not so great? People that died.
People that died.
Get this off my screen.
Get this off my fucking screen.
Disrespect.
This bullshit.
This is your guys' history. I don't know about this.
You don't know? You don't know anything about the Chicago Fire?
I know it happened.
You know how it happened?
Well, I started to read how it's related to Great Tartaria.
Obviously.
A lot of
It's the
fire.
1870s, baby.
A lot of fires around these world fairs.
Oh. You talking fire? Come on.
Talking fairs? Talking
You talking
fires.
fairs? You talking fairs or fires? Because they both happen, baby. It's the 1870s.
Does this
Ain't
go
shit.
into this?
Huh?
Does that go into this?
A little bit.
Okay.
You can relate it.
Okay. I'm sure I will.
It's interesting. Let's go into this.
I still think of when I was sick and we went to that one museum. You went to the bathroom. I'm just like leaned up against a wall. I'm like, Christian, these fucking griffins are everywhere. I just kept
Which
seeing-
one?
We're at we took the wrong turn at that school where the museum was inside that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I was just like, there's fucking griffins.
Christian, you're not going to believe. There are griffins all
kinda like-
Hey, she gets, yes, there are griffins.
Yeah, it's just me sweating like it's crazy.
Do you know what that means? I come out of the bathroom to you fucking hunched over. There's griffins all over the place.
Yeah.
No.
Not able to explain what it
Yeah.
means because I barely understand.
I barely understand it. So there's a couple. So listen to this. It really didn't go into one of these, but they got some say it's just normal fires. How the old story is a cow knocked over a gas lantern.
Aren't there 2 fires?
Oh, actually, I fucked up. I need to do something. Oh, brother, there's a lot of fires.
There are 2 Chicago fires.
Well, there's the Great Chicago Fire, and then there is the also great Chicago Fire sports team, the American soccer team. Yes. If that's what you mean, then yes, there are 2 Chicago Fires.
That is a disrespectful name, and that's not what I meant. I never thought about that, though.
Really?
If the Redskins can't be a team, how in the hell are you going to have...
That is fucked up. Let's see how this fucking goes. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm really just setting this up a lot. You could be talking.
Well, I'm trying to think. The Chicago Fire, that's like if you named fucking the Oklahoma City bombs. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we're like the Oklahoma City bombs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't name that city the fucking dynamite or whatever.
Oh, because it's a disaster?
Because they had a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Why would they name it the fire? It's a terrible tragedy.
with the New York Twin Towers.
Yeah, I was trying to think how to say that one.
Yeah.
That and Pearl Harbor. We're the Pearl Harbor fucking...
Yeah, with the Maui forest fires.
Well,
That's too much.
that's why I backed off.
This leans into that as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting. So basically, a lot of people, the old legend is that there was this some bitch.
Legend has it.
Some bitch had a cow. Cow knocked over a gas lantern, lit up the barn. That's what started the Chicago Fire. Right? That's the old wise tale. Right? So now we're gonna go into this. A lot of this is just what's fishy. Okay? Because it's all fishy to me. Okay?
That's who survived the fire.
There's a lot of photos.
Talk about that.
Let's go into these photos because you'll see these photos right here. There's a lot of photos of unidentified men posing with the rubble, all confident. Like, look at his hand in the
Hand, feminine pose.
hand. Well, the leg is, yes, but this hand in the jacket is supposed to be some Masonic shit. That's what they say. I don't know if that's been proven or not.
But is
But
that a black guy?
no, that's a white dude with a shadow.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Whew.
I don't know if they let black people like in the cabal back then.
Listen, they weren't too open back in the
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
1870s.
I'm pretty sure this is still like in the same bloodline at this point, let alone like.
But look at this dude. This dude just posting with the fucking rubble and shit. But while the whole city is destroyed, right?
Yeah, but
Look at these buildings.
Yeah, but what do you mean when you're like, just to play devil's advocate? Obviously, I'll go along with whatever. I'm like, these men are henchmen.
Well, there's just it's like it's odd photos of all the rubble. Like, why?
But who's taking those pictures?
I don't fucking know. News people probably. Why have like?
Are they trying to say that people are stationed here to like not let people investigate? Like,
they're saying that there's like there's all the photos are just like a bunch of this like random unidentified fucking clean cut dudes that are just like they're all just fucking standing amongst the rubble. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a weird part, but here's where it gets weird. While the city is destroyed,
it could definitely be weird in combination with other weird things.
Obviously, yeah. But like while the whole city is destroyed, like look at these buildings. You see all these fucking buildings. There's no scorch marks. There's no signs of like fire, just rubble, right? There's paper signs. Look at this. Bro, there's white paper signs. They're not touched. Like they're not burned. If this was all burned, wouldn't these signs be gone? Wouldn't there be
so
rubble?
This is like with 9/11 when they said like it's because of the plane hitting it, when really it's like, no, we went in and we pre-cut all these things and we rigged them up with this. Like that's what the forensics of it shows.
So
like,
once we get into
the forensics of a fire.
So yeah, exactly. So it's because it's like, why are there no scorch marks on these buildings? Why are there?
Theo Von just had a coroner on. I like when he does that, and he has like
just some dude who
professions on.
I like that.
But he was talking about like just the different, because it was nice to hear it from him, because when like a detective talks about it, it's easy to be like, all right, buddy, what do you like think you're fucking a guy on like a fucking old TV show? Like, I'm a cop. Like this dude was just like, yeah, you know, like just more down to earth, but talking about shit like that, like cool investigative detective shit.
Just little things. But yeah, like you see all these buildings fucking destroyed, and it's like there's no scorch marks on the buildings except for you get to ones over here. And it's like, okay, there's scorch marks, but it's like, okay, there was fires like afterwards, like little fires, but not enough to fucking bust down this whole building. And if a fire is this big, exactly, why are there trees? Why are there trees and shit? Which is in the next slide. There's fucking trees with fully up. Some of the trees still have leaves on them. They're next to buildings that are basically fucking imploded. Look at them. They have signs. Buildings were constructed to be fireproof. They were stone. They're made out of stone, glass, granite, iron. All of it was melted and fused together into a fucking glob.
Which means they would have to get like
super, like a blast furnace, like something fucking crazy,
hotter than fire.
So, yeah, we already talked about hotter than fire.
That's the name of the podcast.
Hotter than fire. But yeah, like you see all these leaves and shit. You see the trees all still standing. It looks like shit that was like bombed during World War II, right? Like it doesn't look like.
I'll say,
hey, it doesn't look like Maui. Here's what Maui looks like. This is a full ass fire. This is an ancient build, or like an old.
It's an ancient.
It's not ancient. Historical building is what I meant. It's an old like historical building, and like the roof was made out of some wood and shit. Yeah, the roof's gone, but the bricks and the sticks are still fucking there. This stone
sticks.
Well, not the sticks. The bricks are still there. Look at this building. This shit's still standing. This shit looks all destroyed in ash, but I don't know. You look at this shit and it's like,
yeah, they're big buildings. They're not made with like lumber.
That's what I mean. Like,
or like not primarily.
No, but it's like, look at this fucking rubble. Like, how did a fire bust down this building? It looks like an earthquake. You know what I mean? There's also, go ahead.
How many people, did it just everyone die? Like what happened?
Some people got away. So a lot of people died. We'll go. So like,
that's what I mean,
there's some eyewitness.
Like such a widespread.
People were saying, we're going to get into the more eyewitness shit. People were saying the fire came from the sky, right? People were saying houses flew 100 feet in the air and then bursted into flames, right? Here's one quote. The fire came from, it's also written like a fucking, like olden times. The fire came from the air above, more than from the earth. It was swept along in detached clouds born with a tornado-like fury. The clouds of fire The clouds of fire would be swept along in waving masses of different sizes. Men describe one of these clouds as 40 feet in each way.
It's like the clouds by that train. Remember those?
Which one?
When that train in Ohio derailed and they had
Oh,
all those
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
clouds.
Like those chemical clouds or shit, whatever there was. When all that shit was burning. These clouds of fires usually touch the tallest houses first, and when the building would burn down as if it was saturated with kerosene. Seems like the air was charged with clouds of fire. But look
Isn't
at
that kind of like that microwave shit too, where they can just like point the microwave at someone and just like turn their fucking temperature up, kind of?
you just fucking melt somebody.
It'd be nuts.
It would be crazy, right?
It'd be a good superpower.
It would be.
Like,
Just fucking melt somebody. Listen to this other shit. Fire. People describe them as fire balloons. What do I mean by fire balloons? Because I hardly know myself. One term is because of frequently used by others in conversation with me. All the survivors with whom I've conversated said the whole sky seemed to be filled with dark round masses of smoke about the size of a large balloon. Then they traveled fearfully rapidly. The balloons would fall to the ground and burst and sent forth the most brilliant blaze of fire. So there's fucking balloons coming down from the sky, blowing up into flames. That's what people are describing.
so like bombs, but weird.
An ominous
bombs.
roaring sound was the first thing heard. Balls of fire like meteors fell in different directions in different parts of the town, igniting whatever they touched. Shortly after, a horrible tornado enveloped everything in the fire, smoke, hot sand, and cinders. The storm was a flame born by a hurricane, accompanied by electrical sparks and electricity that flashed in the air and darted over the whole earth.
Sounds like a fucking
8 balls of fire were absorbed.
Sounds like a creation story.
It's fucking crazy. I can't even fucking read some of these things. Yeah, fire tornado. What the fuck is that? A fire tornado?
What does it sound like?
Game agriculture.
Man, if you
Oh,
watch
listen to this one.
My Hero Academia, you'd know what a fire tornado
You
is.
fucking know what that shit is.
When they use it against gang orca.
Here, this one's talking about the intensity of the heat. Everything with wood, everything that was wood just combusted. A large agricultural implement factory was stacked some hundreds of tons of pig iron. The iron was 200 feet from any building. To the south of it was the river, 150 feet wide. No large building or factory was an intimate vicinity of the fire. The iron melted down into one solid mass. They had a stack of iron fucking bars that just melted down. The Wikipedia is lying, saying Chicago was a wooden hovel at the time. Obviously, we know it didn't look like that.
Meanwhile, you go back ancient maps where it says Chalaga.
Chalaga. Uh-oh. Welcome to Chalaga.
They're saying it's like a wooden shack of a town. It's like, well, it's a big enough hub city next to the giant lake to make it onto these maps.
Yeah.
It's a big enough, like, stopping point.
But there's also, like, shit we've seen from the World's... Like, the World's Fair is probably 10 years after this, I think. This in the 70s. 1870s, and I think, 1880s, 1890s? Was the Chicago World's Fair. We've seen those fucking buildings. Look at these fucking buildings.
No one looks crooked.
They said Chicago was a metropolis with a fire department and an infrastructure that would rival New York or London at the time. How's that shit going to burn down? People say the fire was controlled and directed.
How many, like, blocks did it hit?
I think it burned, like, a lot of the north side, I think.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed like so much, like...
Houses out of the way of the flames would suddenly explode. So, like, the flames would be going on over there. Houses over there would just explode. People say it looked like certain places were targeted.
They killed, like, a fuck ton of people then, though, right?
I believe so. or if not killed them like physically, like ruined them financially.
I'm saying, like, if it's not a regular fire and it's how they're saying it, doesn't sound like you have, like, time to get out. It sounds like your house just fucking exploded.
Yeah. So listen to this shit. People say it was controlled and directed. How do you say that name? Milan?
Malin.
Malin D. Ogden?
That's how I would say it for fun.
Malin?
Sounds like you're saying Marlin with an Australian accent. So
Marlin.
Marlin.
I just called me a fucking Marlin.
Ogden.
I called me a Marlin off the fucking Cape.
It can't be that, though, because you wouldn't name that
Marlin.
something that rhymes with your last name.
Ogden.
Marlin Ogden. You wouldn't write.
You think he's named after Ogden Avenue in Chicago? So listen to this.
No.
Ogden Mansion. This is the only structure that was still standing this side of the town. Makes you wonder, who the fuck is Ogden, right? Why is this guy's house the only house that kept standing? When the fire hurricane, quote, was coming, it seemed to shift and change directions right before it hit his house. The stones to the left.
Who's watching this, though, like, in the fire? Like, just people running away?
I think people just running away.
Oh, okay.
Or if, like, that part's on, like, it's almost like when those wildfires are happening and people see the fire coming. Like, you got time, I assume. It's not, I mean, some of it might not be able to, but I'm sure you have, like, witnesses and people watching and shit. But, stones are left pulverized from the heat next to this dude's wooden fence. Like, look at this picture. Fucking, those stones are supposedly they exploded from the heat, these buildings. But his fence is perfectly fine, his wooden fence. But who is this guy? The owner of the house was a real estate tycoon, right? His brother, William B. Ogden, was the first mayor of Chicago. He is advisor to Abraham Lincoln, he was one of the most important people on he was one of the most important railroad executives of the 19th century.
I'm a railroad man.
I'm a railroad man.
Is that what he says?
I'm a railroad man. What's that from?
There Will Be Blood.
I believe so, yeah.
No, he goes, I'm an oil man.
I'm an oil man. I'm an oil man. He has ties to Masonic and I never heard of this before.
The Rosicrucian Order. Yeah, they're like the Knights of the Templar, I think.
Yeah. He has ties to that.
That's who remember
That's
the
this dude's
Georgia
brother.
Guidestones?
Yeah. That's the ones who did that?
That's the pseudonym that guy uses, the R.C. Christian. That's the real guy, R.C. Christian, is Rosicrucian Order, like, leader. So the guy who did the Georgia Guidestones used that guy's name as, like, his pseudonym.
That's interesting.
To, like, carry on that line of thinking, I guess. Or whatever.
So the only person whose house was standing during this fucking thing was that dude's brother. And a fucking real estate tycoon this guy was buying up shit. Which would play into this part. So if you think about this, every single North American city in the last 100...
Wouldn't you have the most to gain as a real estate guy if, like, all these buildings burned down and now you can, like, put bigger, nicer things up? Yeah.
So it goes into that. Listen to this. Every single North American city in the last 150 years is at a major/great fire. All of the descriptions were similar to what we described here. Despite all these happening over a century, no precautions were made. So, like, these all happened over the course of 100 years. Like, I think there was a Great New York fire in, like, 1780 or some shit, and then it goes all the way up to, like, this one, and I think there was a couple more after this. While this one was happening, I think Wisconsin was also on fire, or Michigan or something. Like, all these major cities just fucking somehow burnt down, right? In the aftermath of all of them, there was always some sort of political or economic reset. After the Great Fire, after any great fire, there's a reduction of titles, so basically many small title holders were ruined.
What
so
does
like
that mean?
It means like people
ownership?
small businesses and stuff like that because basically yeah, so like yeah, that's what it was. Most of the insurance policies were burned in the fire. So there was no payment to like the people who own these businesses. So if you owned a business or if you owned a house or if you owned anything, you're paying on your insurance. Well, the fire goes through, it burns your insurance policy. Well, you don't have one now.
It's like an insurance scam from the other side.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So now all of that happens, right? All these people are ruined, all these small-time business owners, because Chicago, while it obviously wasn't as big as it is now, it was probably smaller. A lot of it was probably built on like, hey, me and my family moved to Chicago or whatever, and we opened this business. Okay, I'm the guy that does this. I'm a small town guy. Well, now all these other people, like all these big like corporation people or like people who have ties to some other shit, they want to start opening things, but they can't.
And you don't want to own like this block and that block. I want to own this side of Chicago. You know what I mean?
I want the north side of Chicago.
So if like this one and this one and this one don't sell, and you're like, all right, well, sorry, Pat,
Hey.
fucking
yeah, fucking let me light a match. So listen to this.
That's
So-
crazy. It happens ever. I never heard of anywhere else except the Chicago one.
For what? Oh, that
Like a big
that
fire.
I never heard about it either.
Like
Yeah.
obviously you can imagine, like yes, fires happen, but I didn't
Yeah.
know it was such like
On like a grand scale.
a universal level.
No, I know what you mean. But yeah, so all these fire happens, all these people are ruined, and then all these oligarchs come in and they swoop up and they buy all these titles and they quickly just start redeveloping shit. But why can they redevelop shit? It was rebuilt at an astounding pace. Like the papers were saying it was miraculous. But what actually happened was the fires carefully avoided all nearby vital like city systems like railroads.
I remember seeing that during my Tartarian thing.
Yeah.
Like the railroad's fully
Fine.
functional.
Everything's fine.
They had like a trolley thing.
Which then leads you back to this. This dude's brother was what? One of the biggest executives of the railroads. Okay, well, he doesn't want his shit fucked up. Just like how he doesn't want his brother's house to get fucked up. His house was probably fine. So it's like you all have all this happen. The railroads are fine. Most of the insurance policies were burned. So all these rich people and like the big businesses and like the oligarchs and all this stuff, they go in and they buy all this business.
It's like a Great Depression thing almost. Where
Exactly,
It's like
yeah.
You make everyone scram.
Yeah. So they buy all this land, they do all this shit, and then people who maybe they did have some money or they had some money like set aside and they were like, no, it's fine, like we'll rebuild. Well, now there's a new fire, so now there's new fire codes, which makes rebuilding way more expensive. So now anybody who was like kind of able to like rebuild, you can't afford it now because it's all so expensive because you have a new fire code. We have to make sure of this. We have to make sure of this. So who can afford that? It's only the corporations. Big companies, like rich people. It's fucked up.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, shit's interesting.
I'll look into those other fires.
Yeah, the other fires were... That kind of fucked me up.
Because then it's also like... You said... They have those fires and then like they start rebuilding shit and they said how miraculously fast everything got put up. That goes back to the World's Fair thing too, where it's like everyone's like, how long did it take you to build this? And people are like, oh, like 10 months. And you're like,
This is a room that seats it's got 600 rooms.
yeah, but like those take someone like 4 years usually on average.
Yeah, it's not like you guys did it a year faster. You guys did it in an eighth of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Something unheard of with like things stacked against you, not even in your favor. Because, yeah, like you should be working at a deficit, working from a place that just burned down.
Yeah,
Not
obviously.
working, like with the best facilities. Or
But if the fire's controlled, if the fire's like, oh well, maybe
they
it
were all
wasn't fire.
controlled burns.
Or it's like there was one story. I wish. Fuck. I was making this at work. I was kind of rushing through it. There was one thing where they were saying, like people were like mildly burned because they were escaping the fires. Like they had like minimal burns on them.
And this is before they were putting fish skins on people.
Yeah, exactly.
That
But
we
their
know.
the change in their pocket fully melted and fused together. But they didn't melt. Like they just had some like minor burns and shit. But
I'm not smart enough. Is there
so like if the change in their pocket melted, that iron facility was hundreds of feet away from any fire. That whole thing fused together. They said there was some like appliance or something, like an oven or like some like old kitchen utensil or something. It was sitting outside, not near any fire. Whole thing melted into like just liquid on the ground.
Well,
Everything, all these metal things.
Is there a thing that like I'm dumb as shit.
I don't fucking know.
My brain is picturing like a laser in some form or fashion. So like, feel free to fucking call me stupid, but like, is there a thing that would like charge up metal and make that hotter? I can't think of how it would work through air. Like I can understand how like chemically they do certain things.
There's that like induction heating that is used for like an e-nail or some shit. That just like heats up like that metal shit or whatever's inside of it. But I don't is there something that like using electricity or vibrations or something that you can?
Because it sounds like the fire is almost like either a byproduct or like a cover. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like the thing that they're able to do, it's not like they're pointing a giant flamethrower at things, because then everyone would have these burns. So if they only have minor burns, but then their change in their pocket is melted down, like that seems like two different levels of heat. So I'm saying, is there a thing that like would affect metal worse than it would affect us? Because I don't think fire would.
But I've never seen
like, that, right?
Like I don't get how like that. Yes, but like I don't get how buildings look like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like that doesn't look like a fire. So something else has to be like.
Yeah, but these buildings, like that, and like these buildings are clean. Like there's no marks on them. Like if a fire was burning on a piece of like it would look like that. You know what I mean? Like this is all burned up. And then they say the fire came from the sky.
So I'm saying, it sounds like a creation story.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, these fucking these big balls of smoke came down. When the smoke popped, fire flew out of it.
Was there a lot of first-hand accounts?
Yeah, that's what this slide was. These were all basically just saying the same things about how some people were saying it was like a fire tornado that was then caused by those balloons coming down, fire balloons or like meteor type things.
Chinese spy balloons,
which is a scary thing to think about. But yeah.
I saw a picture of the world and it had all the countries divvied up, and in each country, instead of like the country's flag in it, it put the country that country hates the most in it. Do you want to guess what like the top 5 most hated countries are? There's only like 5 that come up. There wasn't a lot of like little
top 5 most hated countries. Yeah. So just by the world.
The world.
U.S. is number 1.
I don't know the order.
Oh, U.S. is obviously in there.
Yes.
U.S. We're gonna say. I bet people love Canadians. Canada's not in there. No.
Stay thinking America. Tough. Big.
Tough. China?
Yeah.
People hate China. Russia?
Yeah.
People hate Russia. UK, obviously.
Actually, we're going to go top 4. I don't even care about the fit. Go.
UK?
No.
Really? They're not
This is the tough one. Because now, stop thinking tough guy.
Israel?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Dude.
Oh, my.
Half the dude, it's like a couple big, like China and Russia, so like big hates us. So
obvious.
So not a quantity thing, but big.
Sure.
Then
Americans hate
us. We all hate, like us in the North America, we hate China. All Europe hates Russia from World War II and the bombs. And
yeah.
And then outside of like those big ones, it's pretty much all Israel.
Even like Africa and shit?
All of Africa except Ethiopia
hates Israel. Yeah. Where is this? Do you have this map?
Probably.
Look for that, because that's interesting. That I like.
And then the thing that kept getting keyed in on was Argentina and Chile not liking Israel. The person that posted the map was like, everyone else not liking Israel I can understand, but you two is sus. And then he put like screenshot and he's like, I want to know what your grandparents were up to.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on there? Yeah. Well, hey, it makes sense. Why else would the Nazis go to Argentina?
So close to Antarctica. And I mean, why wouldn't you go to a lovely,
beautiful place called Argentina?
twice last year.
It's beautiful. I fucking love it. Such a beautiful, beautiful country. Is that where Patagonia is? Argentina? I think so.
I think so.
Yes. That's where like they do like that like alpaca fur. Like,
Well, that's where they had giants, right?
oh yeah. Big giant territory. Patagonia. That just looks beautiful. Wow. This I like. This is cool. Wow. What is this country on the bottom? Who do they hate? Is that France?
Isn't that South Africa?
Oh, that's Russia. Is that South Africa? Probably the people that border them.
Yeah. So that was just like a little rivalry.
Madagascar hates China.
Well, think about all those
What's up with like
mining things. they got
Paraguay and Ecuador? Like they don't have.
going. There was a bunch of ones that just
Or
didn't
Bolivia.
have it. Yeah, there was a bunch of African ones that didn't have.
They just don't have opinions.
Or I wonder.
They
if
say
did-
we hate China. I think it's the age we grew up in. I would have thought we would hate like Middle Eastern people. Obviously, we don't have these feelings. We're men of the people.
But this is a very flag-based chart, and I don't know that Middle East has a flag.
yeah, you can't just put an ISIS flag up,
Right.
Because Trump already took them out. You know what I mean?
He bested them.
He bested ISIS.
He defeated them
Yes.
with his
and then the Dems brought him back.
his two bigger than average hands.
Bigger than average. I'm a huge.
I said, Muhammad, whatever your name is, get over here. I gave him a knuckle sandwich.
I said, hey, bud, I need you to stop doing what you're doing over here. Sacrifice the WMDs, or you're going to get a little old 1-2 from the old Trumpster.
I said, listen, you're doing too much for the virgins in heaven. There's plenty of virgins around. I have sex with virgins all the time.
I love virgins. We're not so different, you and I.
Melania, I haven't had sex with her. I need
No.
my miner's cap to walk around in that. No. Tight, fresh.
Tight, fresh. A 20. A nice 2,000, maybe. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know where I'm at. Depends how I'm feeling. I might get an 02. I don't know.
I'm jet lagged right now.
I'm jet lagged right now. I might. Are we in Thailand? I don't know. Jesus. Dude, bro, speaking of Thailand, videos have been popping up on my TikTok of just like white like businessmen or whatever, just with young fucking girl, like young, just walking like through the streets of Thailand, like arm in arm with these, and like people just record them like, what corporate job do you have? Where do you work?
Yeah.
What do you do? What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And like people just follow him or some shit. Or like sometimes they'll be like, this guy works for so and so. Like he has like the hat on or something, and he's like trying to hide his face,
Damn.
but it's like it's his fucking work hat.
Yeah, as you pull the hat down to cover your face, you're just like presenting
General
the logo.
Electric. Yeah, just fucking shit like that. But yeah, just like with like young fucking one in each arm's like, what are you going, bud? Like, what the fuck you doing, man? It's crazy.
It's crazy that that's happening, but then Thailand wants to like focus its energies on like the Singapore company one. They do Muay Thai, and Thailand is suing them. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Muay Thai is like a.
That's crazy. Send that to me. I want to put that up on the. Just screenshot it.
We don't
So-
have like a comparable thing to Muay Thai. We don't have like a cultural sport. Like baseball is our pastime or whatever, but
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We don't have like a.
Muay Thai is so.
Brazil
tied
has
up
soccer, like shit like that.
Mm,
Oh, I would say Brazil.
well, they have jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but not everybody. I don't think everybody's doing jujitsu.
Not everyone does soccer.
I would say more people.
More
Brazil.
people in the world do soccer.
I know. That's
That's
what
a
I'm saying.
skewed argument.
I would say that's their. I would say that's more of their like
Say that about any country, then.
what that soccer's their thing.
Listen, man.
Okay, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I struck a fucking chord.
Just saying there's probably better examples.
You'll never go to Brazil.
Sumo. to Japan would be a good example as a cultural.
I would say both are good examples.
I wouldn't. No. That's why I had to come up with the second one.
But go ahead, please continue.
In 1FC, they do modified Muay Thai rules.
And what is that?
Very limited clinch, and then they don't do like the Rai Crew dance and the prayer before. And
okay, I like that.
They don't have the
1FC. I've been liking 1FC.
They do a lot of cool things.
I've been liking that.
Now, there's like a gray area where like I think most people would like them to allow them to operate in the clinch more. I think everyone agrees that like right now where they have it, it's a little bit too every time they come together, you can break.
You're breaking them up.
Yeah. So I think everyone's on the same page about like more clinching is better. But also everyone...
Because Muay Thai is a big clinch. That's clinch.
Huge.
You're living
huge. That's like what gets missed the most because in MMA, everyone goes like, oh, his Muay Thai is great. You know, when they say his Muay Thai is great, they mean like his striking. Like he has good punches, good kicks, good knees, maybe good out. You know, but like Muay Thai is using all those things together and inevitably involving the clinch. And that's like the thing that anyone that goes to Thailand will tell you is like the thing that is the most standout, most like I've never experienced. It's you cannot that's also why they have to change those rules. Like K1 used to do that but K1's kickboxing, so it makes sense. K1 or kickboxing, you're not supposed to clinch a lot. You do
striking, yes.
You do one knee break, like that is kind of what makes sense. But they had to do that specifically against like Buakaw and people because you can't. They'll fucking eat you up. Like it's
just because it's like
that's the thing they do more than you've ever thought you needed to do it. You know what I mean? Like
clinch work.
They live in the clinch.
Yeah, they live in the clinch.
You see it when like they get a fucking handle on like a whitey or someone that like or foreign. I forget if it's farang or what the word is they use, but
why though?
Yeah, but no, the 1FC is being sued by like the Thai government. Like that's a kingdom. They're suing them for
the Kingdom of Thailand is suing
1FC because of the watering down. It's like you're not allowed to call that Muay Thai because it's not representative of real Muay Thai.
No shit.
So if you want to do that, you have to call it like modified striking, whatever the fuck. Like you're not allowed. That's our thing. And if you're not going to do our thing correctly, don't call it our thing.
That's cool.
It is and it isn't because they also like 1FC's kind
Thailand also has their kingdom has been known to do some fucked up shit.
Well, this is my point is that people are walking around with little kids, and it's like, hey, maybe you you got bigger fish to fry, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe you could make the argument that there's some cultural thing that you need to protect, but also 1FC is doing like a better job of bringing Muay Thai to the masses than Thailand kind of ever. Thailand's always done
do they do any?
They do, but like it's hard to watch. Like you can't. It's not. One's easy to turn on. Like
aren't they the ones that always flag your shit too?
One.
No, you get flagged from like some Taiwanese shit.
No, South Korea. UFC South Korea
loves to just fucking pull your shit down.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Love to just fuck.
They don't even pull it down. It just doesn't broadcast. I have no South Korean audience because of this, which hurts me.
That is interesting. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Of all countries, that'd be one I like to keep.
Yeah, South Korea.
I have a kinship.
Wow, you basically grew up in Korea.
I'd say
that was the first time I felt like a foreigner in my life. I would say.
I just love day 2.
Holy shit, a white guy.
I seen it.
We're in Long Island now. Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, no, full Korea.
Yeah, no, that was fucking wild. I want to go back. That was fun. Did you hear Biden in Maui? Biden took a little pit stop in Maui. Stopped by.
I don't know if it was old or not. I heard him talking about how you need to get like your vaccine during natural disasters.
Oh, I think that was old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He's like, it just makes everything easier.
I think we have a clip on that where he's like, best thing to do during a hurricane situation is you get vaccinated. That's what, you just make everything easier. Like, just get vaccinated. No, he's up there. He's in Maui. He's on like stage, and like, I think this is the same one. He comes out and he's fucking lost, like always. And then he finds.
What if they made a vaccine and they tried to market it to everybody? So they made like a snortable vaccine. Like, look at me,
man, you can do as many of these as you want.
I'm rubbing it on my gums.
I love this shit, man. Come on.
Sorry,
that's what they found in the White House with Hunter.
it wasn't drugs. It was vaccine residue.
We'll get back to this.
Anyone will tell you
real
that.
quick. Did you know that it came out Hunter was living in the White House at the time when they found the cocaine?
Yeah, I mean,
Ain't that interesting? I mean, obviously we all fucking knew it.
I was
But
gonna say, right?
yeah, it's obvious, but it's funny it was confirmed. But no, Biden's in Maui and like he finally makes his he finds the podium, and he gets there and he's up there and he's like, you know, I know a thing or two about losing a home, losing some, I had a fire once in my home, and I had a fire, it was raging on, and then literally
Great Chicago fire.
dude, it literally cuts underneath and it goes, Biden had a small kitchen fire in 2015. He was put out in 10 minutes. No, I know what it's like, lose a home, have a fire in your home, and I've seen it. How crazy is that?
Yeah, he had like a
A
fire.
fucking island is burned down.
Yeah,
the island's gone.
Meanwhile, he had like an island in his kitchen that had like one frying pan
Yeah.
get out of control.
Oh boy.
Hunter, get over here.
Hunter.
Some bitch got away from me.
Bitch got away from me. Forgot where I put the damn fire extinguisher.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Trying to make you a burger.
I know what it's like to have a fire on an island. I too has had an island on fire.
I tell you, Jill picked out the most beautiful granite island I've ever seen.
I never seen something so miraculous.
Tell you the truth, we were a little bit bummed moving to. I mean, Donald Trump caught a lot of flack for that, but it needs some updates.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's probably jazzed to be in there.
In the White House?
Yeah.
This is the nicest house I've ever.
He's old. Yeah, that still means something. Trump showed up. The fuck is this shit? Where's all your flat screens?
Trump's still old as well, but he comes off like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, he's hipper. He's still old, but he stays trendy. Biden likes being a grandpa and stuff, and it's like I worked my whole life
just to. And you know what's funny? He's probably deep down. He's probably is a good dude. He's probably fine. He's probably just an old fucking grandpa at this point.
But I mean, he did have all the drug stuff back in the day.
He did, and there was all those videos of him being a prick when he was like yelling at people. He's like, "You know who I am?"
Oh, right, yeah.
I watch that shit. Yeah, I'm sure he is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
they're all pieces of shit.
Once you get to that level, you got to be shaking
yeah.
hands with at least other pieces of shit. So you inherently have to be.
No, you're right.
To some degree.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is right.
They're all lizards.
Oh, I mean, come on. At this point, we all know this now.
God.
It's fucking gross. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. You want to keep power in the same place, but I don't fucking know. I had this thought on the train when we were coming back from the museum all fucked up. Dude, I never laughed so hard in my life on that train. That was so much fun.
It felt like a school laugh.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same shit. It felt like because I was trying to contain it. But I was just like,
I'm so glad we moved.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
No, I start sitting, because I'm sitting in I was going to bring this up to you, and I was like, I would be screaming this on a train. Do you think having a foot fetish, I've thought about this for a while. Do you think having a foot fetish is sexually liberating because there's open feet everywhere? Or do you think it's sexually frustrating because there's open feet everywhere and you can't do anything about it?
I think it's kind of comparable to anything else. I mean, at this point, girls...
But a girl can walk out in a pair of flip-flops. That's barefoot. Girl's not walking out with her tits out or bare ass out. You know what I mean? Like if your thing is, baby, I want to suck them toes. If that's
I don't know.
if that's your thing, or like you're like, oh shit, I'm the guy that
What's the
I'm the guy
ratio?
that jerks off to foot pics.
But what's the ratio? Like, I mean, I guess maybe if the toes was the thing you're into specifically about it, then yeah, because that's what's up. But if the thing's the whole foot and you want to see like bottom of the foot, I feel like at that point it's like boobs. Like
Maybe.
you can see all the boob except the nipple, pretty much. A lot of times, someone wears one of those like low cut things. I mean, sometimes. I watch a lot of Bar Rescue. These girls, these whores behind the bar.
I mean, you never know. Yeah, that's true. No, you're right.
People wear crazy things.
It's disgusting, these people.
I think so.
But yeah, I had that thought, and I was like, I wonder if it's easy having a foot fetish, because it's like, there's feet everywhere.
That's what I thought about yoga pants at first. At first, I was like, this is sick. And then, like, 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, this is a curse.
Yeah. Bro, I remember in, this is a curse. This is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And I remember being in school and they banned yoga pants.
Yeah, but the same thing at work
but
happens,
it was banned.
where it's like tights are different than yoga pants, are different than leggings.
They banned them.
They're all the same
I
shit.
remember it was banned for like 6 months, and they like came back. And it was like,
oh, I actually do remember that.
Remember
my
this?
school had the same thing.
Yeah,
yes,
they were
that
banned.
I do remember.
They were banned for a period, and then they came back.
I remember them.
And I tell you, that comeback was crazy. I
remember.
remember.
You really.
I remember
how tough denim is, because just
young,
escape.
just young. Your friend being like, "Did you see? They can wear them again. They can fucking." It's crazy. I love this rule.
What are they doing?
I love this. But then
and like they should kept that rule.
Yeah, no, this is too much.
We should wear uniforms. Everyone should wear slacks.
Everybody should be wearing slacks.
A polo t-shirt.
Fucking crazy.
Long sleeves. No, that's like what Hasidic Jews do, though, where like they can't touch their wife like through the week. So then, like by the end of the week, you're like
ravenous.
Fuck yeah,
really? No shit.
I don't know that you.
I bet
need to do that.
You think Hasidic Jews have good sex?
I don't know if it's like a healthy marriage, but they probably have good sex.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
If you know all during the week, I can't fucking touch this bitch. She's got that hairy muff that's just sitting there. I need this thing.
That's what I'm saying. You can't alleviate it. It's just hanging in the air.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like any amount of finesse.
No.
It's not like, ooh, we got
Do you think he's just a fucking like it's Friday morning and like this guy wakes up and he's like, honey,
it's time.
It's time. I'm going to shlamuk all over you.
I don't know. I feel like people should do that.
What?
If they're like whenever you see in a TV show when they go to like couples counseling, like you never hear that. I feel like that should be like a good answer.
What?
Like if people are like, oh, like, we just
don't touch each other for...
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, make it the rule that you can't touch each other.
Yeah.
And then see what happens. Like, you guys are not touching each other because you don't want to do that. Make it so you can't do that, and then now you'll want to, right?
Yeah, because we all want what we can't have.
Grass is always greener.
It is. I tell you, it's a beautiful thing. Land of milk and honey. Come on.
Heaven on earth.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. Russia's Luna 25 unmanned spacecraft has crashed into the moon after spinning out of control. What disrupted that thing? You're telling me 2023?
Ruski engineering?
Hey, well...
No, they're pretty good with the space stuff.
They are pretty good.
They are pretty smart. They know a lot about strength. They beat us there.
They did.
They beat us on space.
But they can't land on the moon.
We didn't either.
Well, maybe it's harder than we think it is.
Where are we at with the moon landing? Because I believe him when he says...
It's tough, man.
I believe those three guys when they come back.
It's really
and they're
tough.
all
I almost want to believe... I feel like they went to the moon, orbited the moon, and left. Maybe they didn't land on the moon. Maybe they went to the moon, saw the orbiting, Saw they're on the crater.
Yep.
They're on the crater. Yep. They're watching us. Yep. Yep. We're on the crater.
I could piss my pants listening to that.
It's scary. So maybe they went there. They saw all that. They orbited a couple times. They got close enough to where they were like, we got the fake footage. Like, we already got that shit made. Like, we could just tell Russia we made it. Like, what? Like, who's going to question us? We made the footage. We made the footage a year ago, and they haven't found out about it yet. So if we go out, we orbit the moon, we take pictures of that. We then come back. Well, then what are the moon rocks? It could be fucking anything. Yeah, that's true.
Rocks.
The moon rocks.
Rocks. Hey, everybody.
hey, yo, Neil got moon rocks.
Yeah, he did. Woo.
It's interesting though, right? What do you feel like? What do you think? Because they do some they do some shit where they point a laser at the moon and it bounces back because they left panels and like reflective shit at a certain point, so we could prove that we went to the moon because they can. But I mean, I don't know.
All that shit with the like who's filming from.
That's the other thing too, where it's like, oh, that's his first steps on the moon when he jumps out. Okay, who put the fucking camera on the tripod? Like who's the dude? Who's the dude who got out before him and like, all right, cool, record. All right, Neil, go ahead.
Fire up.
Yeah, fire up. Cool. And then what? When they leave and they have the footage of the fucking lander leaving, did they take off, orbit, and go, all right, let's land and grab that camera? Or did they recreate everything in a warehouse and make all the footage?
And again, like Russia beat us on everything. Like, it doesn't, just from like a common sense, like not even looking into it, like, doesn't really make any sense that we would just all of a sudden do the hardest thing in the category that we've been bested at. Like everywhere other thing, they beat us. They better. Like, it doesn't make any sense that like, oh, the one we'll get them at is the one that involves all those other steps that we didn't do good. You know, like, I don't know. So that part's kind of, but then I mean, maybe I'm a sucker for narrative, but like when those three dudes are sitting there, I'm like, the fuck did they just get back from?
What did they see? Like, what? Who told them what to say? Like, I don't like. There's that shit, and then there's like you got Buzz Aldrin now. I mean, obviously he's older. He might not give a fuck. He could just be fucking around. But
no,
you have him telling you have him telling children. Like, a girl walks up to him and is like, what's the craziest thing about landing on the moon? And he goes, you want to know what the craziest thing is? It never happened. And the girl goes, what? And he goes, never happened. We never walked on the moon. He's telling a fucking kid this. Like, I get it. You say that to some reporter because you're fucking around. You're going to say it to a kid?
Well, he punched a guy. I'm pretty sure it's Buzz Aldrin that did that. Someone was trying to get him to swear on the Bible that he went to the moon.
And he fucking punched somebody?
Or maybe it might have been a different astronaut.
There's a ton of them, though, where like they just get approached. Like, there was one
guy ran away.
Yeah, there was that dude where he approached him, was like, people are saying you did this with the camera and you had the reflection of the earth and this because you weren't actually over here. It was some like tricky camera work, and he was like, you see the look on his face like, fuck, you figured it out. And then he goes, no, that's crazy. And he goes, cool, would you swear on the Bible? And then he just, a grown man, just runs away. You see him just, stop it, I'm going to get security, stop it. I don't know. It's some fucked up shit. I want to believe it. It's easier. But then it's like,
it's everything, though.
But then they agree that they do fake some footage of the moon shit because they can't get the car, or like with like the radioactive or like the gamma rays, it fucks up the camera, and that doesn't work. So you admit to doing that. So it's like you admit to faking the footage. Like, just go all the way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's never been the thing I looked into a lot.
Yeah.
I watched a video on it.
It's
here and
always
there.
been like, I look into it every now and then. It's never been like, I feel like it's been overdone. It's been overdone to a point where like there's
The big ones I always kind of steered clear of, to be honest, like that JFK and
JFK I never really fucked with. You never fucked with like 9/11 really.
not until that one doc that you watched.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I just never liked.
Here's a funny story. Not even funny. It's just funny the way they're presenting it. It's a good story. A Hawaiian man traveled 13 miles by bike and car to rescue his grandmother. They present this as if 13 miles is an absurd distance. Me and Christian rode our bikes 7 miles the other day. And this is bike and car. This man traveled across the island, the thing he's lived on his whole life, to save his grandmother. It's like, yeah, dude, you probably could have ran that far. Like,
even if it didn't say "and car," I'd give him more credit. Even if it was just a bike, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's hilly. I don't know.
yeah, like you got a couple of hills, sure, I get it.
But car, it's like, what do you mean?
Isn't it just like a?
What do you mean "and car"?
Yeah, like I get the story, like it's cool, but like Hawaiian man rescues his grandmother. Seems like a click, but like a Hawaiian man traveled 13 miles.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. You done? Is that what you're saying? You're done?
It's over.
Hey. All right, fuckers. That's it for today. If you want to see our beautiful faces, check us out on YouTube. The RSS will be up. I'm setting it up tomorrow.
But now that'll be on the YouTube.
What? We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.